Crawl is basically Hungry Hungry Hippos for adults with alligators. So Crawl stars Kaya Scodelario and Barry Pepper, and it's about this father and daughter who try to survive a Category 5 hurricane in Florida while also trying to be hunted down by hungry, hungry alligators. Now, right off the top, there were a lot of skepticism going into this film because, A, this film was released under the radar and there wasn't a lot of promotion going into it, and also the reviews didn't go up till the day the movie was released. So when I heard that this movie was pretty enjoyable, that gave me a little bit of hope. Plus, this is directed by Alexander Aja, and honestly, I really don't like the Piranha movies. I do love the Hills Have Eyes remake and Horns, surprisingly. But going into this movie, there was a lot of skepticism to be had, rightfully so. And all I can say is that this movie is really, really fun. Now, I usually don't jump in horror movies, but there were a couple times in this movie that I actually did have quite a great scare. Now, I don't jump in horror movies, but there were a couple times in this movie that I actually did jump. And I think this movie is not the bloody fest that Piranha was or The Hills Have Eyes is, but I think this is a movie that has a lot of fun to be had. Let's start off with the pros. There, the chemistry between Kaya Scodelario and Barry Pepper is fantastic, and I think those two work. They had a real great dynamic as father and daughter, and I think that was one of the aspects that I actually latched onto. There were a couple of moments when the film did have heart, and I really was surprised by that, because in movies like this, you really don't see a lot of heart. You just see two people trying to survive a disaster while also trying to be hunted down by alligators. And that was one aspect of the film that I actually really did enjoy a lot. Plus, I think if you go in, turn your brain off for 80 minutes or so, 80 to 90 minutes, then you're gonna have a really good time with this film. As for the cons, it's hard to pick cons from a movie like this because throughout the whole runtime, you're basically intrigued. You're basically gripping your seats, trying to see if they're going to survive. And this movie knows what it is. It's monster fun, and and I think you can just basically accept the movie for what it is, just some monster fun. But other than that, if you really wanted to pick out the cons, I think the con is that this movie is not that original. We've seen this concept before, once or twice at least. But other than that, I had a really great. I was surprised by this movie. I think I had a lot of great fun with this, and I'm really intrigued to see what Alexander does next. I think This is a movie that everybody will have a great time with. I'm going to give Crawl a 7.5 out of 10. So if you've seen Crawl, go ahead and let me know what you think of the movie. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, drop your comments down below and let me know. Until next time, this is Josie at the movies.